Devontae Graham was asked why he thought Penn was getting all of this love, and he said, well, they look really good on film, but, quote, I don't know, maybe people just don't like Kansas. That's what happens when you're a 1 seed. You got that target on your back. Kansas and Penn come from different stratospheres of the college basketball world, but these teams are more alike than you might think. They worked Doak hard, specifically getting him jumping, throwing him lobs, testing that knee out, and he said he felt good. He had an ice pack on it when we were talking to him, and I noticed he kept looking down at his knee like almost as if it were its own presence. Thursday, it was funny, probably the loudest cheer of the game came when Udoka Azubuike checked in. That was probably the loudest cheer. It was great. It was a really good crowd. But yeah, as you mentioned, today's Saturday. It's also St. Patrick's Day. And just from what I can see, I see 4 beer gardens, and they're shoulder to shoulder, packed with people. Players are always pumped up to play on this stage of the NCAA tournament. The bright lights, the big games, everything that's riding on it. But talking to the guys in both of these locker rooms yesterday, they're excited to play in this game specifically because of the matchup. They're a really, really solid defensive team. And it's funny, if you look at the numbers, they rank about defensively where Kansas ranks offensively. So it's really going to be an interesting matchup on that end of the floor. They've struggled in this round. They just really have. But of course they have. Everyone struggles when you're facing teams this good in this round of the tournament. But Bill Self, 2-7 all-time in the Elite Eight. Spellman hit 6 threes in February against Seton Hall. That's a lot of points. So if that's the type of game he's having from the perimeter, they may need a guy who's a little more agile, a little lighter weight to get out there and play defense.
Joining us now just outside the Alamo Dome is our Rachel Kilmer, who has more on maybe the matchup of the night. Rachel.
Hey, Leaf. Yeah, the magnitude of this game really can't be overstated. Final Four, 2 blue bloods, 2 of the best teams all season long, meeting head-to-head for rights to play in the national championship game. So fitting that there's a big-time matchup among 2 individuals in this game, in Devontae Graham and Jalen Brunson. But there was so much pressure on this team with the 14th straight Big 12 title on the line, and they had to play the year shorthanded after Billy Preston ended up not playing regular season minutes for this team. But despite all of that, against all odds, maybe not all odds, they are 1 seed, but against a lot, they are here, one of the final 4 teams left standing in the NCAA tournament.
This has been an inconsistent and somewhat frustrating team up until probably 3/4 of the season.
The Jayhawks suffered 3 losses at Allen Fieldhouse, plus 1 in Kansas City.
I just remember thinking, like, man, it might be a long year if we continue to play like this.
It was a lot of ups and downs. A lot of people thought we were going to lose Big 12 and stuff, but, we just keep proving everybody wrong.
But bouncing back from a handful of losses is far from the most stunning facet of their Final Four run. First, there's the high schooler that joined the team less than 3 months ago.
It's been super exciting. I never thought it was going to be here this early.
Then there's the combo of the small-town walk-on and the KU football player that each clocked a few meaningful minutes.
It's something that I think I never would have imagined in my life.
It's so surreal, and I just can't believe it. I can't believe we're here. And
the Jayhawks faced far more obstacles than they planned for, but maybe that's why they're here. Few expected this, just how they like it.
It was helping us out a lot. People not thinking that we're supposed to do it, and we turn around and do it.
It's been a special year for real. This been a year that I will never forget in a long time. It's been an up and down year, a roller coaster year for us, but overall, man, to be here right now with my team and everybody else, it's a blessing.
So here they are at the Final Four. What about other Final Four teams in KU history? Did anyone else have such a rocky season? Well, 4 losses at home, quote unquote, for this year's team. Of course, one of those was at Sprint Center. So let's say 3 at Allen Fieldhouse. Who else lost 3 games at Allen Fieldhouse but the 1988 Kansas Jayhawks?